Kaylee, and I'm going to answer question 5 of my evaluation of our thriller film. Question 5. How did you attract or address your audience? Well, first, basically, obviously the conventions. We wanted plot twists which were kind of for like the more action, kind of psychological, which attracts both male and female target audience from our, well, based on our questionnaires. And obviously an older target audience because then they won't get distracted. And plots are quite confusing, like for instance in Memento or Inception. They kind of motivate us to do better on our film. Um, Basically, there was no dialogue at all. Like in our final cut, there is no dialogue because in the rough cut there was originally dialogue, but it didn't actually work out, and the camera quality was quite very bad because we have a very low budget. So you couldn't really hear Megan or Mitch at all in the final scene, and we had all this epic music as like the title sequence and all these really good shots, and then we just kind of go into a really quiet scene. You can't hear anything. It's not very well shot. So we thought that as a mutual group decision, we get rid of that scene because we felt as a group it wasn't working and the dialogue wasn't very good at all. We did keep in for our director's cut Mitch saying stop as as he gets his pass out and shows his nose for coconut, I'm in trouble. Whereas you don't know when we've done something. But again, we felt this didn't work. So when we added the music in and did the final product, we felt that the music over the volume, muting the actual sound and getting rid of Mitch's stop altogether, so there was no dialogue, worked a lot better because we wanted the music to kind of drive the plot forward, and we wanted the music to provide the emotion as well as body language from us as actors. And we thought that music would help appeal to the older audiences. We thought they'd appreciate it more because obviously the older audiences are more intellectual and they understand the kind of things we're going on about and the genre expectations we're on about in our film and what we're having away at. So we felt that they were able to feel this emotion, the emotions more through the music, and were able to understand it. So we chose that. There was no humour at all in this because we felt like in every we sat and discussed that in every kind of thriller film there is always a slight, just there's always one little tiny bit of like an element of comedy. Always there's some kind of form of comedy, and we felt that we didn't want any humour at all because it's meant to be a thriller film and we wanted a true traditional thriller film. We didn't want any comedy because we felt this would have distracted from the seriousness of the things that were in it, and it would have made it more comical and would have made it seem like a more comical sketch than it would have a thriller film. That's why we didn't have it. So yes, we chose 30 years or older for our target audience as we put it on the mature. But also, my point, I think, is the choice of our stereotype, like for our social characters. For instance, like the portrayal of teenagers, which I play, kind of like the gangster, hoodie kind of wannabe. I think, in a way, this is quite interesting and appeals to the older target audience because it's kind of portraying their opinions in a way, and it's kind of portraying the stereotypical opinion in any film that a mature audience might be able to handle, which is why we chose it. So thank you. That's question 5, and I'll be doing question 6 in the next clip.